Kia ora koutou katoa, no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky. Dan Hooker will be returning to the octagon for International Fight Week at UFC 290 when he faces Jalen Turner, and the Hangman joins me now in studio. Kia ora Dan, welcome back to the show.
Kia ora, thanks for having me back.
Exciting news to not only come back, you know, to have another fight, but to be a part of International Fight Week.
Yeah, like, I obviously always want to get back in there as soon as I can, but yeah, I was always trying to get on these fights and they're going, no, like, wait, there's bigger fights. I said, I want to fight on the same fight as Kai. They're like, I think it's at the Apex or something like that. They're like, nah, they're not gonna chuck you on that one. So to be on this card, it's pretty cool. Alex is on the card, Jack Della's on the card. Yeah, there's some like big names. Oh, Rob Whittaker's on the card. Like, there's some big names from our side of the world taking over. So I feel like there'll be heaps of yeah, it'll kind of feel like a hometown, I always get quite a good pop in Las Vegas for some reason. But yeah, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
You came off such a big card over in New York, and now you're jumping onto another huge card. You know, what does that mean for you to know that, you know, when you're coming to the party, people want to watch?
Yeah, like, I obviously know that, you know, the UFC are quite privy to the numbers and then who's drawing in the eyes and stuff like that. So yeah, like just shows it, you know, it's a big fight, you know, a top 10 fight in the lightweight division, which always has a lot of eyes on it. So yeah, to be a part of that card's pretty special, and it really adds to it, you know, once you as it draws like closer and closer to it, and you feel the amount of attention it's getting in eyes and the excitement from the fans, that really adds to it. Like, Fight Week makes Fight Week like real fun. There's a lot of cameras, a lot of people, a lot of noise, like that things really give you like that last kind of injection of energy before the big show.
How has it been since your win in New York? And, you know, that was a great win, by the way. But how has it been, you know, motivational-wise for this next bout against Jalen Turner? Yeah, it's like the next step. Yeah, that's the question I had to answer from that fight. Is like, well, this is like a young, hungry kid on a 5-fight win streak. Like, does Dan still belong in that top echelon, in that top 15? And it's to go out there and just to make he's a good young kid, just to go out there and kind of make him look a bit silly, and just be like, well, if you keep giving me these guys, like, I'm going to keep making them look silly. Yeah. I don't mind that, you know what I mean? But the next step up to that is a guy in the rankings, and to not only get someone in the top 15, but to get a guy ranked in the top 10. Is exciting. Like, he's a tough opponent. He's an exciting opponent. He's got a lot of hype behind him. The first time this fight was announced between you and Jalen Turner, I thought, all I can see are long limbs everywhere from both of you. And I kind of feel like at CKB, if anyone's preparing for a fight against someone whose, you know, body is like that you'd be the person to be mimicking the long-limbed person. So how do you get, you know, the best preparation against a fighter like Jalen Turner?
Oh, that's like the blessing of being training at City Kickboxing, is there's a lot of high-level kickboxers. There's a lot of high-level strikers that have a similar style to Jalen. You know, they're usually not that. Not as light as he is. Like,
yeah, it's weird, eh?
Usually the blokes at 6'3", 90 kilos, 100 kilos. So I'm looking forward to it, you know, getting in there and mixing it up with the taller bloke. It's always good. Because I always like fighting people that are taller or bigger than me, like getting under them and finding different ways. So it's not, I hate fighting the little midgets you got to punch down, and it's actually quite hard, like punching them down and trying to catch a quick little buggers jumping around everywhere. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, a nice big target swinging up's like a lot easier. So I'm definitely excited for it.
Nice. And how has fight camp been going? Because I remember in the lead up to New York, you know, there was this maybe a sense of urgency from Eugene to, you know, to raise the level in terms of the intensity of training. So how is that, you know, correlating with this camp as well?
Well, yeah, we're like obviously riding off the back of with the gym, like, it's still buzzing from Israel's success, him doing so well in his last fight, and that energy has definitely been kept inside the gym, and that's been kept, like, even the boys fighting on the local shows. I think we were in
XFC in Dunedin a couple of weeks ago, and then the boys all like 5 wins. The 3 professional guys all got first round stoppages. So it's, yeah, like that energy and that feeling is definitely still in the gym. And then just this week we got a nice surprise. Craig Jones, who's one of the best, you know, jiu-jitsu practitioners in the world, has shown up at City Kickboxing, and he's here for the next 4 weeks. So I've got the first half of my camp is going to be spent working with, you know, one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world every single day. So that's a nice little surprise, nice little injection of something new and a new taste. And things are definitely like a snowball effect at City Kickboxing. Like things are continuing to roll. Yeah,
because of course it's not only your fight coming up. Kai Kara-France's fight's been announced. Carlos Olberg will be in action next weekend, and you know, Izzy's kind of could be later on in the year as well. So you know, how does that, you know, raise the bar as well in terms of the intensity, knowing that you're not just fighting, you know, with partners, but who are also preparing for their fights?
Yeah, it's like there's like you draw inspiration from your training partners, and also like a added, it's like competitiveness as well, like a friendly competitiveness as well. Like you see them do well, like you wanna do well as well. So it's like, yeah, you're inspired by your teammates. You're also like in the gym, and like the competitiveness is not so much on the outside. Like that's like internal. Like we're in there in the gym, and you see someone performing well in the gym, you want to match that as well. You want to perform as well. You know, you can't just write off a name or the things you've done in the past and expect people to just, like, you know, let you have an easy road because you have a big name and a lot of accomplishments. You have to step in the gym and you have to prove that you're the best fighter in the world. There's no one. You can't take any of it for granted. So it's definitely, yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Like Kai, main event, Carlos, obviously working himself towards the rankings in the light heavyweight division. It's like it's things are just steaming along.
What does success against Jalen Turner mean for you?
Oh, it's another step. You know, that's beating a top 10 opponent, and the opportunity you get from that is massive. Is a top 5 opponent. Like that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Like you beat someone in the top 10, well then you fight someone in the top 5. If you beat someone in the top 5 in a main event, you fight for a title shot. That's just that's just the thing that is set in place. Like that's the opportunity that is at stake.
Yeah, and we say time and time again that the lightweight division is one of, if not the deepest in the UFC, and it's tough to crack. So to get a top 10 opponent is amazing for you. Yeah,
to not only get a top 10 opponent, but to have like a top 10 opponent call you out is like, I was willing to fight absolutely anyone. You know what I mean? I said after my last fight, you know, like I'll do whatever the fans want me to do. You know, if the fans want me to fight another unranked person again, if the fans want me to fight someone in the top 10, but you know, I had a fighter in the top 10 who's ranked number 10 in the world call me out and ask me for a fight. The fans were excited about the fight, so it got put together. So it's it's cool. It's cool that you get that kind of respect off your accomplishments.
He has quite a good record, unfortunately, against Anzac fighters so far in his career. Is there any sense of perhaps redemption to try and end that for Jalen Turner?
Nah, he's actually a cool cat. Like I don't have a bad word to say about the bloke. Like he's, even though he's beaten, you know, a lot of guys from this region, he's always been like super respectful, which is, nothing. It's just part and parcel with the sport. Like someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. There's no point, you know, get salty or crying over spilled milk. He was super respectful about every single one of those fighters. So yeah, I feel like there's no animosity between me and Jalen. I feel like there's a lot of respect there, and I feel like the fans are excited for this fight, just in terms of how it stylistically matches up. Like the who's going to be able to fight taller, who's going to be able to fight longer, and who's going to be able to, so who's going to be able to the one to get their flow going first.
Is the title still in the sights for you?
Has to be. Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be. Yeah, I feel like I'm just getting better. Like that's within like the last 6 months or a year, I feel like I've turned a corner with my game, and things are just getting better. So to work yourself back into that position with the past experience of being there before, like it's definitely, yeah, like you can only learn those kind of things from experience. Like I'm glad that I didn't, maybe that coin toss didn't go that way and you didn't get your title shot then, because I'm not the fighter that I was or that I am now. I feel like I'm a lot more experienced. I feel like my game kind of came together recently because of those learning experiences. So I definitely don't have any kind of like regrets or anything like that about that. Yeah, I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited to work myself back towards the title.
Nice one. Love to hear it, Dan. Look, you mentioned Alexander Volkanovski will also, he's headlining this card at International Fight Week. He'll be facing interim champion Yair Rodriguez. How do you see that fight going?
Oh, that fight excites me. I obviously fought Yair 2014. So, yeah, oh, damn near 10 years ago. So yeah, it's exciting. Like he's a explosive, like flashy striker that covers a lot of distance. That's like a very different opponent than anyone Alex has fought in like recent memory. So it's definitely exciting. Like obviously I feel like yeah, there's a lot of questions that are getting asked in that fight. That's a fight that had to happen. That's a fight that excites the fans a lot. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm excited to be there. I'll be able to be there live, sneak past security, go under the curtain, go over the chairs, and I'll trust me, I'm gonna find my way to watching that fight live. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it'll be absolute fireworks. What do you make of Alexander Volkanovski as a fighter, and obviously knowing him as a training partner as well?
Oh, just the like hyper competitive, just the competitive. You can learn a lot from Alex, like just his work ethic and just how competitive he is, but in like a friendly, like you see it in his fights. Like he's the exact same in the gym. Like you catch him with a good shot, he's like, oh, nice one, like that was really good. And you're just thinking like, what? Like that's the same in a fight. Like someone cracks him like square on the nose, and he goes like, great job, and you're just like, you're nuts. But he's just like super. Yeah, there's no malice in him. There's no, a bloke doesn't have a bad bone in his body. It's ridiculous.
Well, look, returning bantamweight Henry Cejudo has been calling him Alex the Average of late. He's featuring at UFC 288 this weekend against Aljamain Sterling, and of course he wants to use this fight to catapult himself to Volkanovski in the near future. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he is a cheese. Like he is a he's a cheese, bro. But he can fight. He can fight. He can obviously wrestle very well. I've seen Aljamain, when I was in Las Vegas, stuck in Las Vegas for like 4 months. Aljamain was training at Syndicate MMA as well. So I've seen him in the training room. I've seen how well he works. I've seen his grappling. For me, it's like the time off. For me, it's for a fighter to put their title down, say I'm done, say I'm retired, I don't want to fight anymore, to take 2 years off and then to come back like that. For me, always like answers a lot of questions. Whereas Aljamain's obviously been very, very competitive. He's been like improving so much. Like his first fight with Petr Yan to his second fight with Petr Yan is like is night and day. So he's been improving. He's been active. Like I have to lean towards the guy that's been motivated and been in the gym and being active, as opposed to a guy that's been sitting out for years.
Fair. It's funny because I was looking. Alex Volkanovski, I think, said Henry Cejudo, but I feel like it's been quite split. Bro, it's been quite split.
Cejudo doesn't stand a chance against Volk. Like that is ridiculous.
Let's just stop that conversation.
Let's just. I actually don't want to stop it because that's like the easiest. That's like the easiest paycheck for Alex in history. But had to get that off my chest.
Well done. And look, Dan, thank you so much for your time today, and I'm sure we'll catch up again soon before you head over for International Fight Week.
Thanks for having me.
UFC 288 goes down this weekend and Henry Cejudo is back. And he is coming for the bantamweight title when he faces Aljamain Sterling this weekend. And Henry joins me now. Kia ora and hello, Henry Cejudo. Welcome to the show.
You guys are welcome.
I'm loving the energy, Henry.
You guys are in the presence of greatness. Ask away.
Awesome. Look, first of all, Henry, welcome back. Welcome back, because you have been away for a little while from the UFC, 3 years to be precise. How has it been being back into camp, getting ready for another UFC title fight?
Oh, it's been great. I've had an amazing fight camp. The jitters of competing once again are back in. I take my training extremely serious, and it's been good. The body has really come together like you wouldn't believe. Like I'm actually impressed on how my body and my weight and my strength, like I'm 36 years old or 36 years young. And I've never felt better in my life. Like I feel like that boy training for the Olympics once again.
That's awesome. And, having that bit of time away, or, a few years time away, has that, reinvigorated your approach to a fight camp? If this is, you feeling so well ahead of this fight?
Oh, of course. So, we brought in new engineers. Like I'm constantly evolving and constantly bringing new people in. And I think we've done an amazing job with that, of finding the right people to bring in. And, because everybody that we fight is different. So we have to make sure like the potion is just right. You can be too cold or you can be too hot, but you got to make it just right. And I feel like that's what our training camp has been. It's just a room full of CEOs and scientists all under the same goal to win this title on Saturday night.
Have you felt anything has changed while you've been away? The sport of mixed martial arts in general, evolves so quickly. In 3 years, it probably has. Have you noticed any changes?
I feel like the people have gone worse, to be quite honest with you, including the champ, Aljamain Sterling. Like, he absolutely sucks. I'm not impressed by him. His striking's craptacular. His wrestling, I can see from a mile away. And I just feel like, the sport of mixed martial arts needs the king back, and that's why I'm here.
You played this role heavily with the flyweight division, because when you were the champion, or working towards to being the flyweight champion, that division was on the cusp of being eliminated from the UFC in general. Is this kind of motivation for you to come back to the bantamweight division? Do you see it going down, not the same course, but needs that, hype back?
Yeah, and you guys remember, all you New Zealand fans, you guys can kiss the ring, because I made it possible. And that's the reason why you guys have Kai Kara France even challenging for these vacant titles. It's thanks to me. Anyhow, 100%. I think, the UFC hired me as a damn hitman. I've been off for 3 years. I get a phone call like, hey, we want you to fight Aljamain Sterling. I'm like, all right, show me the money. How much? Where at? He's next. So I've been contracted by the UFC to take out Aljamain. So yes, I'm here to save it.
When you say that, you're not impressed by Aljamain Sterling, what do you make of him as a champion? You know better than anyone, it's not easy to get into those positions of being a UFC champion.
I think he's a hell of an actor. I think he has a career in that. I mean, just see the way he won his belt. I mean, move out the way, Denzel Washington. Aljamain Sterling did your damn job. That's what I think of Aljamain.
Fair enough. And do you compare that to your journey? Because I felt like you had such a long road, to get to greatness in your time as flyweight and bantamweight champion at the same time. Does it annoy you when people win belts that way?
And Olympic champion. You forgot about them. And there's a reason why I'm the triple C. You better get the resume right. Come on. What's wrong with you? Anyhow. The only thing I can say, I'm not underestimating Aljo. I just know my skills, and I recognize my skills, and I know how good I am. And he doesn't scare me one bit. As a matter of fact, he's trying to be my friend. I'm not here to be his friend. He kind of buttered me up yesterday. Caught me by surprise, gave me a little hugs, like nothing but respect. But in reality, man, I really do want to kill the dude. And that's exactly what I'm going to do on May 6th. So I'm not impressed by him in any way, shape, or What is it? Any way, shape, or form. Yeah, there you go. You know, a little dehydrated, you know.
Fair enough. Look, coming back after 3 years is one thing, but to come back to fight for a title is another. But, you know, how did you approach that? Was a title fight the only way you were going to come back?
100%. 100%. When you've accomplished what I've accomplished in combat sports, yeah, character, persona, shtick aside, I've done enough. You know, what I really wanted to do is go to 145 pounds and challenge Volkanovski after a 3-year layoff. They said, no, this is what you got to do. Go through the path. We'll give you a title shot at 35, win another one, then go after Volkanovski. So guess what, guys? You know, sometimes, you know, I'm not the boss of the UFC. So if I got to abide by their damn rules and do that, then that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I'm doing now. So this is the road to make history. This is a road to 145 pounds and reclaiming that belt, being the first in history and taking Alexander the Average down under.
Alexander the Average. What makes that fight so attractive for you?
Because I do respect Alexander Volkanovski. I do respect his IQ. He is a smart human. He does fight people different. He does understand distance. He does have fakes. He does set traps. I get the game. These guys are sipping on. These guys, I don't know what they're sipping on, but I'm sipping on what he's sipping on. And I do believe, and that's the reason why I want to challenge him, is because I want to take my body there. I want to challenge myself. I've done extraordinary things in sports, in combat sports, and I want to continue. Because the window of you being young, 36 years young, is, you know, it does close, and I do know that. So this is why after this fight, I'm trying to fight right away and then right away again.
When you announced your retirement after that fight against Dominic Cruz, you stated that you felt you had achieved everything you wanted to within the UFC. Was it, you know, these bouts that have brought you back, or has it been these fighters and these current champions that have brought you back, you know, with you in full belief that you can beat them?
No, I think it's a mixture of both. Let me get on this thing. You hold it, Nick. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I want you guys to see this beautiful face of mine. Get on this side.
Quick adjustment.
How come you can't see the light?
No, because
here.
I'll hold it almost.
Anyways, what was your question?
Oh, I'm trying to remember what my question was now. No, you said when you retired.
No, honestly, look, yeah. Listen, I was able to, you know, coach a lot of the greats. John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Zhang Wei Li, Davidson Figueiredo, Yuri Prochazka, everybody who has won championships. I'm just like, I'm teaching these guys, and some of these guys are even older than me. I'm just like, wait, I still got it. You start to recognize your ability a little bit more. And you know that the time frame, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. You know? And, you know, a lot of these guys, they did inspire me. But this is a business trip for me too. Like I'm not a fighter. What I am is I'm a winner. I'm a competitor. And I'm here to challenge myself. And by no way, shape, or form am I taking Aljamain. Even though I think he sucks, am I going to take him lightly? I'm prepared. I've done my homework. And I'm here on May 6th. I'm here to eat some Jamaican jerk chicken.
During those 3 years that you were away, you know, and you thought that you had accomplished everything that you wanted to in the UFC, how much did your situation kind of, you know, teach you that you weren't done yet? And did it have anything to do with, you know, perhaps becoming, you know, the family guy and coaching all these other great fighters?
Yeah, I think, these last 3 years have been the best 3 years of my life. From age 11 to age 33, I accomplished everything. I sacrificed my body. I've become a master of sports, and I've been able to really just take my time, rekindle that love of competition, and not coming back again. Like, don't take this persona, you know, like I'm just a joke. Like I'm here to win, a winner. That's what I've done my whole life. And like I said before, I'm coming, and you guys are gonna witness a live assassination on May 6th. Put it on your wall, tweet it. Twitter it, like put it on your Instagram story, all the above, because there's a damn human assassination. I'm going to do it live.
Nice. Look, finally, before I let you go, Henry, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans here in New Zealand?
That you guys can all do me a favor, and you guys can all bend the knee to King Triple C.
Thank you so much for your time, Henry. We will be watching in anticipation and can't wait to see how this fight turns out.